It's time for the interview. It's time for breakthrough. If you're ready for next level blessings, abundance, and prosperity, then it's time to tune in to the interview with your girl, Trish M. Calling all my fabulous ladies. Hey girl, hey. It's your girl Trish M. And listen, if you love to follow me for the fashion, then you know I own a boutique, Trish M Boutique. And just for rocking with me, if you're ready to take your look to a whole new level, then shop with your girl, rock with your girl at shoptrishm.com. And just for listening to the podcast, you get 20% off by simply using podcast at checkout. Shop with your girl today at www.shoptrishm.com. Hello. How you doing? I pray everyone is having an amazing day. It's your girl, Trish M. I am live. I am in your face, okay? In your face. Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Apple Podcasts. I'm in your ear if you're on Apple Podcasts. I am here and I am ready to give you some good in the hood, okay? It's your girl, Trish M, coming at you live for the interview with Trish M. As y'all know, the interview is all about us looking in so that we can be better out in the world that we live in. Come on, somebody. All I know is we don't have time to play this year. We got goals. We got ambitions. We got things that we're trying to do. And y'all know what I say. Barbecue or mildew. What you gonna do? Okay? Barbecue or mildew. Because if we barbecue and we cooking up something for this spectacular new year, can y'all believe it's already it's already finna be March. Like we're close to ending the first quarter of the year. Like this year is flying by. Okay. So, but we're cooking up something, right? We're doing big things in this season. And I am here to encourage your faith. It's your girl, Trish M, your podcast host, prophet, teacher, pastor, evangelist, apostolic mantle on my life. I CEO, so many titles. But today I'm your girl. I'm your friend. I'm the one trying to motivate you and push you to next level of manifestation, okay? Because we got stuff that we got to do. Y'all say we got to do. We got to do. We got to do. Ain't nobody got time to mildew. We know what mildew means. Mildew means that we sit still, it ain't nothing happening, and stuff getting stinking, okay? We got too much to do this year. Right. And so that's one of the things that I want to talk to you guys about is what are you doing in this year that's pushing you, that's motivating you and challenging you. Listen, if I want to say something, I got to say this, y'all. If you're not feeling uncomfortable in this year, okay, if you're not feeling a bit of discomfort with your dreams and your goals, if you're not feeling a little bit of discomfort, I got to ask you, what are you doing? Because let me tell you something, your dreams and your goals this year should make you uncomfortable, make you a little nervous, make you a little scared, make you like, oh my gosh, God, what we doing? What we doing? Like your dreams have got to challenge you in such a way this year that even though you're nervous, you're still going for it. Even though you're a little scared, you're still going for it. Even though you don't know what you don't know, you still going for it. We were at Wednesday night service at my church. Shout out to Mind of Christ. And we played Jacqueline car song. I think that's her name, Jacqueline. But the song says, I can see it. I can't, no, this is the part that I really like. I can't explain it, but I know that it's major. Come on, somebody. I need y'all to let that resonate right there. You can't explain it, but you know it's major. You know it's big what God is trying to do. You know that manifestation is right around the corner. You know that something amazing is happening and it's in your now season. This is your now season. And let me tell you something. It's like what I told them the other night. You don't have to be able to explain it. You just got to have the faith to know that it's going to be major. Come on, somebody, because let me tell you something. When God gives us a dream, a vision, a passion, a zeal, we don't know the A to Z. All we know that God said it. And so all we know that we're supposed to do as believers, if God said it, that's it. And God said, any man that sets his hand to the plow and looks back is not fit for the kingdom. I'm trying to encourage somebody on today that you got the authority to set your hand to the plow. And if you look back, then you just release your authority to the enemy. Watch this. Because God is saying, what I'm giving you to do, you can't look back at doubt and fear, but you got to do it scared. You got to do it nervous. You got to do it. You got to move forward with all of the intensity and the passion that God has placed on the inside of you. Come on, somebody. You got to do it, and you got to do it scared. And you can't look back at fear. You can't look back at your nervousness. You got to go forward with all of that attached to you. Let me tell you something. When God told Abraham, he said, Abraham, I've given you a land, it's this great land and all of this stuff. But here's the catch. I need you to leave everything that back home, like all your folks, all this, all that. I promise you. And the reason I can promise you this is because I know Abraham is human. Abraham was not God. Because Abraham is human, I know without a shadow of a doubt that when God gave him specific instructions as to what he's supposed to do in this new year, I promise you Abraham was nervous. I guarantee you he was a little scared. I guarantee you he was like, oh my God, I got to do this. You mean I can't look back? I can't, I got to leave out. I got to focus. Oh my goodness. I promise you, Abraham was just a little nervous about this big thing that he was going to tap into. But all he knew was that God said it, and his job was not to be able to explain the details to Sarah. Come on, somebody. His job was just to give Sarah the vision. Like, okay, Sarah, God just told us that we gonna be millionaires, and God told us that we gonna have this house, and God told us we gonna have this car and this business and this. He was like, you know what? All the specifics of the in between as to how it's gonna happen. Sarah, I'm sorry, babe. You just gotta trust me. Come on, somebody. Abraham did not have all the details, and just like Jacqueline said in her song, and the song is called Major. She said, "I can't explain it, but I know that it's major. I can see it. I can hear it. I can feel it. I can't explain it, but I know that it's major because, Jacqueline, you weren't supposed to be able to explain it. You're not God. Listen, Trish, you're not supposed to be able to explain what God is telling you to do in specific details because God will only give you a taste. And let me tell you something. A lot of times when God gives us a glimpse, there is always a process that follows it. Come on, somebody, listen. When God will always give us a glimpse and he'll get us excited and be like, oh, yeah, this sounds good. Let's do the business. Let's do let's go in this direction. Let's start this. Let's go for it. He gave you a glimpse. He gave you this feeling. He gave you this aha moment. That's what we call a glimpse. But what he didn't do was give you the process. Because let me tell you something. You know why God doesn't give us the process? Because if he gave you the process with the glimpse, many of you would turn around as soon as you got a glimpse of the process. See, many of you would be like, oh, yeah, on the other hand, I don't think I want to go through all of that. On the other, see, I'm telling y'all, right now, we are in a season and a time where we're catching a glimpse of what God wants to do. We're catching a glimpse of what God wants to do. The process is all about the test. The glimpse is all about the beauty, but the process is all about the test. The glimpse is all about the favor. Come on, somebody, this is prophetic. The glimpse is all about the favor of what's coming to you, but the process is for those to be tested by the fire to see if you can handle the favor that is on your life. You got authority. Come on, let me break this down. You got authority to receive favor from God. Why? Because he shows you a glimpse of where you're going. But the authority as to achieving it is in your hands. Like God will give me so much, right? And I can think about it. I got this vision board. That's a glimpse. The glimpse is always beautiful. Y'all better feel me today. Come on, somebody. The glimpse is always beautiful. The glimpse is always, oh, I love this house, this car, this job, this business, writing the book, connecting with these people and even getting in this relationship. The glimpse is phenomenal. The glimpse is what excites you. But the process is where the rubber meets the road. But let me tell you, in the process of it all, you have the authority to walk it out by faith, and you have the authority to cast every demonic force that comes to you to make you second guess the beauty of the glimpse. Come on, y'all. Listen. Because you have a great assignment on your life in this year. God has already given you the glimpse. The enemy knows that greater is on the other side. And so what the enemy does is he suggests, like, okay, let's go back to the garden. The enemy knew that Adam and Eve had this major promise, like they were going to live forever and just have this wonderful life with God. And so the enemy, all he did to Eve was make a suggestion. And the suggestion, he didn't force Eve. He suggested to Eve to doubt the plan of God. He suggested to Eve to doubt the glimpse that God has given them. He suggested to Eve to forget because that was going to be too hard. But he had an easier way. And so the enemy, because he knows that this year holds double for your trouble. Come on, somebody. This year holds a next level kind of breakthrough for your whole house. Y'all say whole house. This year holds another level of favor from God. But what the enemy wants to do, as you set your hand to the plow, he wants to distract you and make you look back, make you look to the side, make you look everywhere else. Those are called distractions, because let me tell you, life is going to happen. This is called process. The glimpse is beautiful, but the life is the process. Life is all the money ain't here yet. It's not coming into the account. It ain't flowing like in your head. You saw it flowing a different kind of way. And so life begins to happen. That's where the process don't look as pretty as the glimpse. Come on, y'all. And so because the glimpse is the beautiful thing, the process is the frustrating thing. And you find yourself getting an attitude with the people that you love the most. You find yourself being not as focused as you should be. You find yourself not being as disciplined. You find yourself kind of going away from the promise in the presence of God, in the word of God, in the worship atmosphere of God. So you find yourself sipping on your tipping or something like that. You know what I'm saying? I know in my head what I'm trying to say, but you find yourself not in the position that you should be, so that you can enter into the actual promise. But God is saying to us today, y'all listen to me. He said, take back the authority to win. Take back the authority to walk into Canaan. See, the children of Israel, they lost their authority when they gave over to their frustrations, when they gave over to their doubts and their fears. They lost, not only did they lose their authority, but they lost the promise. Come on, y'all. So the enemy is suggesting, well, you know what? You tired of this, or you frustrated with that. You know this ain't how it's supposed to look. So the enemy will suggest thoughts to you. The enemy will suggest you having an attitude. The enemy will suggest that you don't need to worship today. The enemy will suggest you don't need to go to church today. The enemy will suggest, come on, somebody, that you don't get in the word today. The enemy will begin to suggest things along the way that's part of the process towards the glimpse of the promise. So along the way, you're going to get suggestions from the enemy. You're going to get the distractions from the enemy. Why? Because the enemy does not want to see you win. The enemy, his job All the devil does is suggest. All he does is whisper in our ear. So you got to understand that if you're whispering in your ear, because a lot of times the whispering spirit is our own insecurity, is our own fear, is our own frustration. When you begin to whisper in your ear things that are contrary to the glimpse of what God gave you, what God promised you, this whole vision, this whole dream, this whole passion, when you begin to whisper to yourself and begin to doubt yourself and begin to get frustrated with process, you have got to tell yourself, you're taking back the authority that God has given you. God has given you the authority to enter into the promise, but the enemy is trying to rob you of the authority, because in the process gets ugly sometimes, and the process make you second guess it, or when is it going to happen, and how long is it going to take, and what must I do, how much more do I have to, and why is this person not acting right, and why is that, and so now the whole process begins to look ugly, and it begins to get a little frustrated, and God is saying, take back your authority. Now let me tell you something. What is it about authority? Like, God has the power, but he's giving you the authority to release the power. The authority that you have can open doors. The authority that you have can close doors. The authority that you have can trample on everything that the enemy is doing. Like I said it like this in Bible study. I said, think about a police officer. When a police officer stands, and when they're at school, they direct in traffic. They have on their uniform, they have a whistle, they're throwing their hands. Listen, when the police officer is directing traffic, he will tell you when to stop, and he will tell what side to go, and he will tell the other side that you hold on a minute. And so, like, he's tapping into his authority. Why? Because he's wearing the uniform that gives him authority. So we got to understand that in this process, you got to make sure that you're putting on the uniform that gives you the authority to trample over the process that becomes frustrating to you. Now, what am I saying? What am I saying? Okay, look at it like this. If the police tell me to stop, I got to stop in the middle of the road. So you got to look at every demon, every witch, every warlock, everything that is frustrating you, that's trying to stop you. And you say, listen, devil, God gave me the authority to put you under my feet. God gave me the authority. Bad attitude, I command you to go, because you have been sent from the pit of hell. See, the devil will give you an attitude that may be nasty, an attitude that may be frustrating, an attitude that may be like a little, you just burdening, you heavy. And so stuff don't come out right sometime, and you don't say the right things, you don't do the right things. And you got to understand, you got the authority to take back the thing that God desires for you the most. And that's a focused mindset, that's a faithful heart, that's disciplined hands, that when God says set your hand to the plow, don't look back. You got the authority to tell every devil that's coming against you to make you second guess God's desire, to make you second guess God's will. You got to say, back, devil, give me 50 feet. Because if you don't give me 50 feet, I'm going to give you what you need. So you got to tell the devil that this is not your year to win. This is my year to win. See, last year we did not use the authority to trample over serpents and scorpions, and we allowed the enemy to make too many suggestions that we lived by, right? And so those suggestions made us lazy. Those suggestions made us procrastinate. Those suggestions got us, we had a little confusion in the house. Those suggestions, the suggestions of the devil, the whole point of why the enemy suggested stuff to Eve was to get her out of position. Come on, somebody. Because he knew that if he got her out of position, she would get Adam out of position, who you're connected to. See, this is not just about you. If the enemy suggests to you something that is contrary to the promise, to the vision that God gave you, you got to understand that if you give up your authority and you believe that suggestion, you just contaminated the vision, not just for you, but for your house, for your husband, for your children, for those connected to you. If you are employee, employer, you just contaminated something for your employee. employees. You got to understand that when the devil suggested stuff to Eve and Eve fell for the okie doke, she didn't just mess herself up. She messed her whole house up. Matter of fact, she messed the whole world up, because we still suffering today from the suggestion of the devil that Eve fell for. And so you got to make up in your mind, are you going to fall for the same okie doke? The insecurity, the fear, the doubt, the lack, the poverty. You got to tell poverty to get out of your way. You got to tell lack, wherever you're lacking finances for this dream, you got to begin to figure out, God, you got to go to God and say, God, I need X amount of dollars. I need to pay off this. I need that. So how has God given you the authority to bring increase, right? The first way to get that money, you got to give. Give your way out of lack so that you can get into the overflow. I was listening to a millionaire today, y'all. Listen to me. Listen. This millionaire owns several businesses that make over 7 figures. And she said there were times when I had my business that I didn't even know how I was going to pay the next bill. She been in business for like preparing for a launch. Come on, somebody. Watch this. A launch is when you're putting something new into the atmosphere. You hope somebody gonna buy it, right? So she was preparing for a launch that she was going to put in the atmosphere, and she was gonna believe that people was gonna buy it, right? And so her testimony is, y'all check this out. Her testimony is, she said, I prayed. She's like, I knew the launch was coming. She said, but one thing I wrote down as part of my vision, that whatever I get from this launch, it doesn't matter if it's $100. She said, I'm going to give 10% to an organization. I'm going to bless somebody 10% out of whatever I make. When she did that, mind you, she broke as a joke. She don't know how this is going to go. She said she ended up tithing. Come on, y'all. Over $70,000 she gave away because her heart and her intent was, I need to bless somebody so I can get up out this mess. Come on, y'all. Listen, if you are believing God for financial increase, you need to sow to where you want to go. Y'all done heard me say that before. But listen, find you a purpose and a cause, because being blessed financially is bigger than you. Being blessed financially is about you being a blessing to somebody else. And so this woman said, I gave over $70,000 when I launched. She said, so that means that she made over 700,000 off of a lunch. But her mindset was, I am broke. I don't know how I'm paying my bills. I don't know where next level is coming from. All I know is I'm a purpose in my heart that I'm going to give my way out this mess. I'm going to give my way out this mess. Come on. I'm going to give my way out this mess. I'm going to give my, y'all going to get this. I'm going to give my way to next level financial prosperity, increase, and breakthrough. I'm going to give it. And she made over $700,000. And so where are you going? If you got a dream financially, if you got a hope and a desire and a plan that God is about to bless your hands, come on, somebody, that God is about to turn your bank account and it's going to be so exponential in this hour. I'm telling you, so like you done lost your mind, so like you don't know what you're going to do. This woman said, I didn't know what I was going to do. She said, I didn't know how the bills was getting paid. I just knew we had a launch. And I just knew, you know what? Instead of focusing on how much money, how big it was going to be, I'm going to focus on how I could give and be a blessing. And she did that. And she over $700,000. Over $700,000. Come on, somebody. That's why I'm dreaming so big this year. I'm going above 10%. Y'all, come on, somebody. And for my tithe and my offering, I'm above 10%. I'm next level. And on top of that, I'm going to give an additional offering on top of that, because my mind says that God, if I'm going to get this overflow, that I got to give to another level. I got to give at another level. God is going to bless our hands this year, y'all. But he's going to bless somebody that's humble enough to say, this is not about me. This is how I could be a blessing to somebody else. This is how I could bless God's kingdom. This is how I could take next level to a whole nother realm, a whole nother dimension. Why? Because I know I need money. Come on, we know we need money. We don't want to walk around here broke as a joke, but our authority to walk in the kingdom financier authority, you got to give. You got to let go. You got to figure out a system. Come on, a financial system for your increase and your prosperity. And I promise you, I got a financial system and it'll work if you work it. Listen, y'all, this thing is good. You better take back your authority. Ain't nobody living check to check this year. Ain't nobody trying to figure out how we gonna pay light bills. Ain't nobody trying to figure out how we paying rent and mortgages. Listen, we next level. We taking back authority to walk as a kingdom financier for the glory of God. We don't have time to play with devils and the devils that bring lack and poverty and frustration. We've been playing with them for too long. Some of us have. We've been playing with, up a minute, down a minute, up. I need consistent overflow. Somebody need to put that in the atmosphere. Consistent overflow that's going to flow into my bank account, and it's going to flow into the hands of the kingdom. It's going to flow into the hands of people that God put in my heart and my spirit to bless. I'm sowing to where I'm going. Come on, y'all. It's that time. Take back your authority. See, the devil knows that if he can suggest to you to hold on to your money just a little bit longer and wait on another check or wait on another this or wait on another that, he knows that he can keep you in the same place that he had you last year and the year before that and the year before that. What are he doing? All he doing is suggesting that you be stingy with your money. All he doing is suggesting, but God said, I love a cheerful giver. He said, give, and he said, I'm going to give back unto you a good measure, pressed down, shaken together, run over, and he going to call man to bless you. Now, that don't necessarily mean finances. He may bless you with a divine connection that's going to bless you with the connection that got your money. Come on, somebody. You got a connection that got your money that's going to bless your house and somebody else's house too. But see, that's how God works. He will divinely connect. He will divinely bless. And a lot of times it ain't about money, but it's about your heart. It's about what you're doing. It's about how you're trying to go to another level for the glory of God. Listen, we're taking back our authority. We're taking back authority this year, and we're winning on a whole nother level. It's a whole nother level. It's a new, okay? We getting new, okay? Double portion. But it's in your heart. You gotta release the stinginess and the what if I hold on to this and do that and all of that stuff. You gotta release that. You gotta let that go. Be like that movie Frozen. Let it go. Don't hold on anymore. I don't know the words, but it's something like that. Listen, I pray this bless you. I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna go back. I'm gonna give you like a whole bunch of stuff to walking in kingdom power. And so that's what we're talking about. This is getting your authority back. You got to get your authority back. You got to put on the uniform as a Christian, and you got to call that thing, or call a spade, call the devil a devil, whomever it is that's trying to get in your ear, whomever he's trying to use, however he's trying to frustrate you, call a spade, and don't let that devil win. This is your winning season, not his. He is under your feet. God bless. Share this with somebody. Love y'all. And I will see you on next week.